Welcome back to another video, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through the journey of starting bookbinding for the first time and selling my notebooks that I made at the one and only market I did in 2024, which was a Christmas one. It went really well, and then in the next video, I'll be sharing details about that. So if you want to hear more about all of that and the market stuff, make sure you stay around for the next video. But in today's video, like I said, I wanted to show you bookbinding, and I wanted to show you a couple of things that I got to start this process. Prior to this, I have done a ton of research. I've spent a lot of the time on my computer and just trying to figure it out, and now it's time to dive into it. I also do quickly want to apologize for the audio in this video. I've been having a lot of issues with my microphone, trying to fix it, but unfortunately I lost a lot of footage due to that. I didn't want to cut out absolutely everything, so some of the footage is a little wonky. I also quickly just wanted to show you guys a few of my notepad designs that are actually now available on the site when this video is up, but I'm so excited to get more products in the shop. So I was able to get all of my quotes in, so now I'm just waiting to hear back from the printers. I do need to film a video, so I'm probably going to take a break and paint a little bit. I need to clean off that desk back there. But first, I'm going to take this guy for a walk. He really needs to get outside. What did you just... So we're gonna go outside. It's a beautiful day, and we'll go for a little walk, and then I'll come back and finish up what I need to do today. But right now, since I have all the files done, it's really just a waiting game to see what the printer and how much it's gonna cost. Ideally, I'd like to have the actual product like at the market, but if it's too expensive to print multiples of each, because I have quite a few designs, I can pick a few of some, but I want to have at least one like finished product that people can see. So if they want to place an order online, I can place the order and then I'll have it printed and all that stuff. So I'll just like make it as an order. And I also want one of every design so I can take product photos and get them up on my website as well. So we're kind of playing around, seeing what works, but I'm waiting to see how much it's actually going to cost in order to print these. It's so funny to me that more often than not, when I sit down to actually plan a painting, it never goes how I planned it. But if I sit down and I'm spontaneous and decide to try something, it turns out a lot better than I thought it would if I would have planned it. And that's exactly what happened with this painting here. I actually was going to make this a whole nother video and do a little talk with you guys, a little voiceover about some business tips and just, artsy things, but this painting, I just really did not like the way it turned out. Over the holiday, we went away and I visited my family. When I came back, I peeked at it and I actually like it a lot better now that I've taken some time away from it. It's still not my favorite, and close up, you can just really see a lot of flaws, at least I can, that I don't like. So I probably will try a version of this somewhat, and yeah, just give it another shot. I do think it would make a really pretty notebook design on a hardcover notebook, which will be coming in the future, but I'm definitely at the point where I want to start working on some new designs for you guys. But it also just takes time for me to practice certain things and to get good at a certain kind of style or painting before I make the one that I will use for printing and making different products with. So this was kind of just like a practice for me. Hadn't really done this particular kind of landscape before. I absolutely love landscapes, and it's just going to take me time to get better and to develop the skills that I want to see. didn't like this painting as much as I had hoped. Finding time to sit down and paint has been really hard lately, especially with so much focus being on product development and learning new skills to get the kind of stationery items I want in my stationery shop. I have no problem getting art items in there, even though, don't go and look now, there's not many in my shop, or actually I don't think there's any in my shop. But if I were to sit down, I would have art things, prints, paintings to put in my shop. But when it comes to stationery items, I'm starting from scratch and I'm learning a whole new skill. And it's been extremely fun, but it's also been extremely time consuming, frustrating, hard, and it's a huge learning curve. And as much as I love learning, it takes time. And it's hard when I'm an artist as well, and when I'm trying to keep up with socials and YouTube and Instagram and all these things. I want to be able to have a balance between showing the process, so showing the paintings and how to make the stationery items, and also sharing the products that we have. But because I've been so focused on getting items in the shop and starting the shop and launching it, which has been such a blessing, and I'll talk more about in a later video, it's been really hard to find time to paint, and time to paint just to paint, not to paint something to sell, not to paint something that would make a really good book design or notepad design or all of these things, just finding time to paint to learn. And so that is definitely a goal that I have for this year in 2025, is to make sure I set more time aside just to paint, whether it's 30 minutes or whatever. I'm not going to see the results I want to see in my skills if I don't practice more. And I always feel good when I just take a moment to paint something and get creative and try something new. So definitely hoping to do that more this year. It can be really tricky. So if you're in the similar spot, I totally understand, but I do think it's going to take committing time and being diligent in that time to actually paint something, sit down and enjoy it and learn something new. Sorry if the lighting's a little wonky. It is nighttime now. I just finished filming a video. The painting did not go like I thought it would. Yes, so off. No, sure. You want to say hi? So the painting did not turn out how I thought it was going to turn out. This is what I ended up painting on the video, and it might not look super bad to you guys, but this is just not the vision I had for it, and the flowers are super messy. Like, I kind of just gave up. I might go in and fix it a bit, but definitely not happy with how it turned out. I'm still going to post it and maybe talk about just what it's like to paint and really not like what you paint, because I feel like that happens more often than not with me, especially as a self-taught artist. Like, I'm really just trying to figure things out, and it definitely doesn't look like how I want it to look like. So we're going to still post the video and share the process, but it definitely did not go as planned. And I just ruined the sky. That's okay. We're going to leave it. We're just going to leave it. So now I'm actually going to take some time and print a cover and practice bookbinding. I'm super, super excited about it. I can share the YouTuber that I've been watching. In particular, I just really like her videos. She's really great at explaining, but this is her book that I got, and you can get it at Barnes & Nobles. And it's been nice, like, having something physical that I can go to and look at when referencing things. But I'm going to be doing, I've seen it as singer sewn binding, but it's just a form of soft cover binding. It's not the perfect bound like this is. It has a sewn, what is this called? It has its own spine to it. So that's what I'm going to practice doing. And yeah, but I need to print out the cover so I can practice doing it with one of my paintings. Had a lot of rewarding things happen in 2024. Even though it was a super hard year for me, starting Proverbs and Pens was a huge accomplishment, and taking the time to envision the business, to have a mission for it, to have a plan for it, and to just really ask the Lord what he wants me to do with this and how he wants me to bless others with this. It was just such a blessing for me to actually do that and take the time, however long it took, however the Lord wanted me to do. And so 2024 was full of many, many things, but one of the biggest accomplishments and just the most rewarding things that I have done in that year was doing research on bookbinding and learning how to do it. When I first started Proverbs and Pens, I had stickers in the shop, and that was the plan, just to get something that was low cost to get manufactured and printed, but had a pretty decent profit margin and something that I could reinvest back into the business. But it wasn't a plan to only have stickers in the shop for, I think it was 2 to 3 months is when I only had stickers. I wanted to get stationery in the shop, something with art on it, so it would represent the shop and what I wanted for it. But the whole time that I was trying to get stationery in the shop, I was looking at getting things printed and looking at investing and how much could we invest, and it was just a lot. Getting stationery in the shop and getting them printed by other printers is not a cheap thing, and I really struggled with trying to figure out how to get products in the shop. We had an unexpected move, and so that definitely took away from being able to invest in Proverbs and Pens, and it was, I don't know, it was really discouraging, I would say, to try to figure out all of these different ways that could possibly work and then to have them not work out time and time again. And there was just a moment where I was like, okay, Lord, you called me to do this. You called me to start this shop, and I can't be an art and stationery shop without stationery. The art side is fine. I can figure that out. I've done that for a long time, but the stationery side is what's new. And when I finally just quieted my mind, quieted what I wanted, what the things that I was pursuing, the Lord told me to learn how to make it myself. And honestly, it really felt like he had been telling me that for a long time, and I just wasn't listening. And it seemed like such a simple solution. And that started the prompt for me to dive into stationery and make it myself. And I have fallen in love, absolutely in love with bookbinding. And I can't wait to grow my skills. Right now, we just have booklets, which I'm super excited about. I still need to add them to the shop, but I've sold them in person and they did so well. And I can't wait to get hardcover books and just continue to grow my skills. I am so excited. I cannot express to you guys how excited I am and how I've just fallen in love with this process. And thinking about the process of starting a painting, to scanning the painting, to digitizing it, to printing it, to bookbinding, and getting it in the shop as a finished project from this whole process makes me so excited for this year and what it's going to hold for Proverbs and Pens. And to add something new to my skill set is always amazing, and I'm so thankful that I was able to quiet my mind enough to hear that from the Lord in time for the market, because he really did use that as a blessing to show me that I am on the right path that he wanted me to. So with all that being said, this is my very first booklet that I ever made. It has plenty of flaws, but I still use it to this day to take notes. And it has been a very nice companion. And since then, I've gotten a lot better at booklets and doing booklets themselves. And I'm so excited to continue to get better. And throughout this video, you guys will see me make a ton of notebooks, or at least the process of making a ton of notebooks. Before this market, I was just staying up so late trying to get products in. I finally had the finances to put in and get the materials I needed. So it was Fun, but tiring. All right, guys, so last night I finished my very first notebook. It's this right here. These are one of the paintings that I did a while ago. It's a watercolor painting. My printer does not print very well. It doesn't print good color. I think I kind of talked to you guys about that the other day, and you can even just like see the color difference with these two books here. So I was really just printing this to practice, and this is just a simple book with the papers folded and then a sewn together spine. I absolutely loved the process of this last night. There's so many flaws, there's things that I know that I could fix, but I didn't really have like the opportunity to do it yesterday. And so I really just wanted to practice like my stitching. I'm gonna do another one today. I got some more papers from Hobby Lobby. We just ran over and got some more sturdy cover papers. I don't have the correct paper in order to fold my inside paper. So the signature, I don't have the correct paper to fold it right where the paper grain runs along the spine of the book the right way. If you don't know about paper grain, something I'll probably talk about in a later video as I get better at bookbinding, but I'm super excited about this. This is the little booklets that I want to make for the market. And I'm hoping to find I just need larger paper that I can cut down the correct way to fold it the correct way in order to make a decently sized book. But these, honestly, if I can get the stitch down right, and I think it's going to take me a few more times to practice just because I have done so much research. I really have played it over and over in my head. And since I'm such a visual learner, that really helps me. And then actually being able to do hands-on visual learning, I do think I'll get the hang of it, at least this style of book. There's so many different bookbinding styles I want to learn, but I am so happy. This was actually the first book I got printed when I was looking at printing them at first. And there we have a Bible verse on the back, and then it has peace on the front because each painting has a specific word that goes with it. I just wasn't super happy with the book itself. It's okay. It's really not bad. If I do decide that I really want to print hard cover books, I would use this brand because I do like their brand values and goals. But there's just so many printing flaws with this that's on me. And then same thing, my printer does not print straight lines. It's just all jacked up, so it didn't fold correctly. This is the back. I have another Bible verse back there, and then a logo, and then it says handmade in Colorado, and it's just slightly off-centered, and so I'm gonna have to figure out how to change that. I don't plan on using my printer to print things. I'm gonna get the stuff printed so it's actually good quality and the color actually shows up, because again, that's a pretty big difference in contrast and saturation, and this really has no greens in it, but there's definitely greens in my painting. So just things to figure out, little hiccups. Still waiting on hearing back from the printer, but for now I think I'm just going to practice my bookbinding until I get a quote from them and figure out how much it's really going to cost to make my notepads and my notebooks. But I think in early one of the first things we'll save up for next year in 2025 for the business is definitely going to be a good printer, because I do think it'll cut back on a lot of the cost if I can print it in-house, and also I can specifically source the exact paper that I want to use rather than being limited to whatever a printer has to offer. But I am working with some local printers right now, or trying to, so that's kind of nice that I can at least work with local people. So we're going to practice another book. So like I mentioned a little earlier in the video, I had just gotten the funds to put into the business 2 weeks before the market. And so the 2 weeks leading up to the market were a grind. I spent every evening I had trying to get things done. I actually recently just went back to work and started working at a stationery shop, which has been such a blessing. I absolutely loved it and I've learned so much. But it's also been hard balancing that with getting the product in the shop like I have been working towards the whole summer. So I was very tired. I had a lot of long evenings, but the Lord really just blessed that market. It was such a blessing. I can't wait to tell you guys all about it in the next video. But I am glad that I did that and I stayed up late. And I would do it all over again if I have to. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully I have more time to prepare. I have a lot of the materials that I need now to make a ton more booklets. I still have plenty of stickers. I have a printer now that I can get my notepads made with, and we're just continuing to grow. So I have a pretty good product line right now in the shop. I do need to add a bunch of this stuff to the website. I think right now we only have stickers in our notepads. I need to add the leftover booklets that I have, and again, we're just going to continue to grow this year, continue to develop products, continue to develop my skills, and I'm so excited to do more markets this year. That is one of my goals, is to do one at least once every month, excluding January, just because I'm not sure if I'll be able to get into one in time, and also just with how December went, I need a little bit of a break. But if we are able to squeeze one in towards the end of the month, I'm totally open to that. If not, that's totally fine. We'll start in February, and I'm already starting to line up the markets now. So that is definitely a goal this year. You will see a lot of market videos, a lot of the process, and hopefully a lot of the growth. All right, good morning, guys. It is Tuesday. We have a market this week that starts Friday. So we only have today, tomorrow, and Thursday to get a bunch of stuff done. I attempted to record a intro yesterday, but my audio was kind of jacked. We're fixing that. We've been having a lot of audio issues. The microphone that I got that I showed you guys in my last video didn't work out. It just like, I couldn't figure it out. There was this constant ringing when I tried to record with it, and I don't want that in the video, of course. I'm gonna try to see if I can find some type of lav mic, because I really would love to talk you guys through the process of my setup as I'm doing it, just because, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit better than me doing a voiceover and trying to remember what I was thinking. But if that's what I have to do, that's what I will do. Right now I'm going to run out. I'm going to be picking up a paper cutter to finish some of the books that I made. I'll actually show you guys. These are the books we have so far. These are handmade papers I got from the shop that I work at, and I bound them myself with the chain stitch that I learned. And so I'm going to be doing a few more sizes like this, and then I'm going to do mini pocket notebooks. They're going to be this size, and I'm actually going to be cutting out, this is like a test, so it's going to look way better than this, but I'm going to be cutting out and putting some of my paintings, mini paintings that I have, in the pocket notebooks. So I have quite a lot more binding to do, but I also need the trimmer to trim the edges and get everything straight, and then I'll round the edges off, and I'm just going to be using the trimmer for a lot of things. I have a lot of heavy projects to do today, like with these mini paintings, because I've rebranded and everything. I'd signed them with my own name, so I'm going to paint over all the backs so I can re-sign them with Proverbs and pens, information and all that stuff. Other than that, I also printed signs for the booth that I'm going to be waiting to hear back from the printers. I got my samples from the printers, which I did film yesterday, so I'll insert that at some point in the video and show you guys. But I also have the full print order that I got in yesterday as well later in the day, so I'm going to be chopping that up and making the notepads that I'm going to be displaying on the booth and offering people to order online. I decided that I think I'm going to offer like 3 free stickers if they order in person. They get to choose three free stickers. They can either take it, I probably will just send it in their order just so I can keep better track of inventory, but I'm gonna need to figure out some sort of system to like mark down which ones they choose, or maybe I only like offer our Polaroid stickers, so you get 3 free Polaroid stickers with your order. I'll probably do that just so I can make sure I send it. So hopefully I'll have enough inventory for all that. If not, sorry if you guys hear that, my window's open. If not, I'll just have to order more Polaroid stickers, and I plan to change the designs just a little bit, where I probably won't do clear stickers just so the border stays really opaque, and then the font, I'm probably just going to find something that's a little bit more bold and more just easier to read. I mean, I like these and I think you can read it, but I feel like some people might not like them as much, so I'm probably just going to change it to a font that's a little bit thicker. So we have a lot to do today. We have a lot to do for the market. I'm going to need to break down all my crates. I'm going to put fairy lights around them. I need to go through all my old market stuff, get it out what I need. So I'm just going to take you guys along the rest of these 3 days of prep, and then I'm definitely going to show you guys the whole like market, because it's been so long since I did one, so I'm really excited. But we're gonna get going. I'm gonna go pick up the stuff I need, and we're gonna make some notebooks. So in the midst of finding a printer to print my notepads and planners, to learning how to bookbind and figuring all this stuff out, I also had to rebrand a lot of my products. I've rebranded probably 2 or so times now. Hopefully this will be the last time for a very long time. But one of the biggest things that I wanted to have at my market were my yarn paintings. These are something that have confused people a lot in the past, and to be honest, it still does, but this market around, they did really well, and I was super surprised about that. People actually wanted to hear me out what they were. Quite a few of them were purchased, and I was encouraged by multiple to keep doing them. It's definitely what drew people into the booth and what got them, distracted by other things and caused them to really purchase something. So it's definitely an item I want to make sure I have at future markets for sure. But I am super excited that people liked those. I think they're very unique. I love them myself, and I can't wait to add more, and of course to add these to the shop as well. Okay, so I have my first little completed mini notebook. This didn't take me terribly long to make. Honestly, the longest part was like gluing and lining it up. I'm probably am still going to do it like this, but in the future, I think I would put like a piece of paper over this to seal it in. But also it's kind of fun because if somebody wanted to like frame this or keep it, they can, and I can also sign the back of the artwork, which I will be doing. But it's so cute. I know this isn't like perfectly centered, but none of my books are perfect in any way. So kind of just adds to the fun of it. So I'm going to work on doing more of these tonight. Trimmed it down and it looks pretty straight for hand doing it. I just don't have a cutter that can do it. So it does take a little bit longer, but that's just something we're going to have to save up for. And then for packaging, I'm going to be doing something called belly bands. It's a type of packaging, and I'll be making my own. So it's going to have, I might have showed you guys, can't remember, so I'm going to show you again. Sorry if you've already seen this, but it's going to have this little strip around it that has all the details. But the thing about these is I'm trying to figure out how do I do it where it doesn't cover up too much of the tree. Maybe something like that, but just enough for this to stay in, and it has the details of the book. So how many pages, that it's blank pages, that it's handmade, and it'll be stuck together with a sticker that has my logo on it, and then it'll also be stamped that says handmade in Colorado. And then I'm also trying to get my website on there as well. So I'm excited about these. So one of the things that I've mentioned quite a bit, but actually haven't showed you guys the process for, are my notepads and planners. I actually made these like during the market. They're the one things that I really didn't get done. It involved a lot of cutting. And as you see, this is the only paper cutter that I have, and it really can only cut one paper at a time. And some of these notepads and planners have up to 60 pages. So that was very time consuming. But the other time consuming part was also finding a printer that was able to print it with a decent cost so I could make some sort of a profit. And the hard part too is not only considering like the initial profit I was making, but how long it would take me to make these, because at the end of the day, if I couldn't get them down to a certain cost, it wouldn't be time efficient for me, and it just wouldn't be worth the money. So I'm really glad that I was able to find a locally owned printer. I absolutely love them. The people are great. They've been so good to work with, and their prices are a lot more affordable than the other ones. Ideally, the goal is to have my own printer that I can do everything in-house, therefore reduce waste and reduce cost, and hopefully that will reduce cost for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. But that is something that is going to be a goal for this year, is to get a nice printer, but it's something we're gonna have to save up for. So we're gonna have to sell more notebooks, do more markets, and really raise the capital to do and invest in all of those things. But the notepads were like designing them. Honestly, I spent a lot of time designing them, but the hardest part was definitely finding a printer and getting them printed. So I'm super excited. Hopefully in one of the future videos I'll show you guys the process for that, and I'll also show you what they look like. But yeah, this is one of the designs I had for this notebook. I had 3 paper covers for the market, and this plaid one was so cute. It looks so good with the little trees, and it did really well at the market. Okay, so I actually have to head out soon because I have to work today, but I wanted to show you guys. I got my samples from the printer, and I am pretty happy with them. The colors look great. Like if I compare it to anything that has come off of my printer, it's great. My only thing is I'm not a huge fan of the paper. It's a little too smooth. I feel like for writing, like I tested it. I'll show you. And we test it with a pen and a pencil. And let me see if I can focus that for you guys. Okay, so the pen wrote very smoothly, and so did the pencil. So I'm not like mad about it. Like it'll work for the first set of notepads, but I'll either go back in and talk to them to see, I'll either go back in to talk to them to see if they have any other kind of paper, or I know when I talked to them before, they said that they could print on paper that I bring to them. So that's also an option. But I'm only having, like I mentioned before, people are going to be able to order them online, so I could still change the paper. This would be, I'm just getting one of each printed for like to display it to see what they're getting. So we have 3 different kinds of like notepads. So these will all be cut into 3 different strips and layered. So we have our ocean one, we got pretty bent up in my backpack, the sunflower one, and then we have like a tree themed one. And for each of those we have little memo pads as well that I'll be making. And then I also have a weekly meal plan and a grocery list, and that's sunflower themed. And then we also have a weekly planner, and that's just, it's green, but it has like 2 little trees down there, and it matches the green notepad. And then I do have a daily planner that I'm still fixing the file before I get it printed. But I probably won't have that one like displayed on my like display this weekend, just because I don't know if I'm gonna get it printed in time, but I will be adding it to the website. I really do like the printer though. They're all super friendly. It's family owned. They seem to be doing a lot. I just have to figure out like the whole paper situation, but if they're willing to take paper that I bring them, then cool, I'm great with that. And I don't know if that will cut back on the cost or if it adds a cost because it's like inconvenient to them. I don't know, so I have to figure all that out, because it definitely changes the price of the notepads. But other than that, I got some more papers from Hobby Lobby to make like mini notebooks. I'll show you guys what I've done. So I have these notebooks that I recently made, and they're from this handmade paper from the shop that I work at, and it has like actual leaves in them. So I have a little set, and it's got the hand stitching down the side. So these are our little notebooks. They still need to be trimmed and the corners need to be rounded, but I'm super happy with the way these turned out. So we have a little set of these. Then I have these little notebooks here. There's this super cute plaid. They also have similar stitching down the side, the chain stitch. They also need to be trimmed. I only have 3 right now, and I can make 1 more because I ruined one of the covers, but I need to get more paper for layering the cover because I just like to stiffen it up a bit. But I have this set, and I'm going to be printing packaging for each of them. It'll be a little belly band that goes around the middle. It just has details of it. And this is also another handmade paper from the shop that I work at. So I have these, and then I really would like to print a couple of my paintings on some like cardstock to do covers with. So that's what I'm going to be sending samples into the printer today. I'm honestly probably going to bring my laptop to work and do it there on my break because I really need to get this stuff done. So far I have 8 journals of that size. I'll have 9 when I make the other plaid cover. And then I got some papers, and I feel like the Lord gave me this great idea because I've seen these kind of notebooks, and I don't even know how they're made, but basically there's like a cutout piece of paper and there's like a little picture showing through. So I'm going to be making these little pocket notebook sizes, but I'm going to cut out the paper, and I have a bunch of these little tree paintings that I did from last year's market, and I'm going to cut out a hole and I'm going to glue it down from the back in, and it's going to be this little picture of some trees. Like I mentioned, that's kind of just like part of my brand are the evergreen trees, and I think that's going to be so cute. And these ones really don't take long. I did do the chain stitch on the examples that I did, but I think to save yarn and to, I just think for the smaller ones, like the single, I forgot the name of the stitching, but I think it's just like a single thing going down instead of two. I think I might do that instead. But these are the belly bands I was talking about. They won't look like this. I'm gonna actually get it printed. Just as an example, I wrote like some of the details on the side. Sorry, I know I keep going back and forth, but I just want you guys to be able to see what I'm talking about. So I wrote some of the details, come on camera, on the side. You can't really see it. And then I have a stamp that I just did. It's gonna say handmade in Colorado. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. So we have a lot to do, guys, like so much to do, but I'm so excited, and I'm excited to bring you guys along this week. But I really need to get to work before I'm late. It's also snowing, so the roads are a little slippery. But these mini notebooks with the paintings, it's gonna be so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I greatly appreciate you. Again, next video, I will share the details about how the market went, what I sold, how much I sold it for. I want to make sure to be just transparent for you and to anyone who wants to do these markets in this year. I have done quite a few markets in the past, so the market itself is not new to me, but I've also had a lot of bad markets. So it was really nice to have something different this time around, and to also just see God's hand work. But again, I will share all those details in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me just do a little bit of everything in this video, and just fall in love with bookbinding. Like, you can't see it, but during this process I was falling in love with bookbinding. Even though I was very, very tired half the time, I really did enjoy the process, and I hope you guys did too. As I get better, hopefully in future videos I can share some tips on how to start yourself. But for now, there's so much out there. There's books, there's videos, and if you're interested in doing it, dive into it. Even if it's just as a hobby, it's so much fun. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.